What's wrong?
I don't know. That's not what we agreed to, bud.
That's not... I don't want to keep nitpicking this intro, you know.
We get together and but it looked like you were thinking of ad-libbing, weren't you?
Well, I had prepared a few comments.
Would you tell him?
Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show at philhendrieshow.com and other places. And there's Phil crawling on the floor for news copy. Bud?
Well, I'm sorry to force a habit to put it there.
He's putting it in your chair, but there used to be a table here, I understand. But the table's gone now, and that doesn't mean, there's no table. Why don't I just drop it on the floor?
Well, why don't you do?
Why don't you find another table to put to the one where the table...
Yes, where the table used to be.
Oh.
Aren't there any tables around here?
I guess.
So anyway, hi, folks. Welcome to the...
Well, Phil, you know something? We're all very, very much, we're involved in what we're involved in. And when you turn to your left and you don't see anything but air, and you have to reach down to get your news copy, you should know that at the beginning of the show...
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's looking at his watch, folks.
And I'm looking at mine, too.
Yeah, you're going to give a speech here, McShay.
Forget it.
Just get a table, bud, if you don't mind, okay?
Yeah, I got that message the first time.
Well, I'm reiterating it. I'm reinforcing it, all right?
Thank you. That's a good thing that you did there, Margaret. Welcome, folks.
No, I can hear the hesitation in your voice.
Margaret, will you let it go, for God's sake?
I knew.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. What do you want from me? It's the Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-5201-KFI in Orange County, 5201-KFI in L.A. County. We'll be out there at the West Hollywood Halloween party there between 7 and 11 on Friday night. We'll be on Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood, and come on out in your KFI mask. Come, just whatever you want to wear. I don't care. Wear your costume. Come over. Say hello. If you have your KFI talk show host Halloween mask, Phil, you get the T-shirt from us. That's 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Just look for me. I'll be the guy with a KFI microphone. I'm bald. I'm pretty ugly. And I'll be standing next to a real beat-up pile of garbage van that they ought to replace one of these days. Some pile of junk that they bought for about $50K. Some armored car that they thought would be really interesting. Some kind of a really interesting promotional vehicle that ain't run right yet. We'll be standing right next to that one, okay? Unlike the one down in Miami that ran all over the place, man. We took it everywhere. This one that they bought here, about $50K, and it's been sitting in the parking lot leaking oil for about a year. We'll be right next to that one. So anyway, it'll be fun, and it'll be Friday night between 7 and 11, and that will be right here live on the air on KFI AM 640. On the line with us right now is Jay Santos from Diamond Bar. Mr. Santos is a property owner in Diamond Bar who is involved in an ongoing dispute with a neighbor. This is really interesting. We have a house in Thousand Oaks, and we have a tree on the side of our property there that hangs over our neighbor's chimney. And the guy has been telling us to cut this thing back for months. We keep cutting it back, and it keeps growing. We keep cutting it back, and the guy keeps complaining. I don't blame the guy, because he's got a chimney, and the tree sets, if the chimney sets the tree on fire, everybody dies. So we cut it back, and I'm right now at the point where I want to just bulldoze this thing down. So fact is this, that neighbors have disputes. Mr. Santos, you had a dispute with a neighbor involving a tree house?
That's right.
Can you tell us about it?
Yes, sir. This was a property dispute, and you'll pardon me, I'm a little bit nervous.
That's quite all right. We get a lot of people on the air for the first time, so take a deep breath, get yourself a glass of water.
Yes, sir. We have a piece of property. We've got a half acre in Diamond Bar, right off the 57 freeway, and we have a piece of property that is fairly well enclosed. We're in a cul-de-sac, which we purchased for privacy and for the safety of our children. We have a neighbor who allowed his children to build a tree house. This is a tree house that actually sits on supports. It's not a tree house per se, but a small playhouse for children that sits up on supports. And this was overlooking our backyard. We felt, due to the nature of some of our entertaining, and due to the nature of the fact that we were looking for privacy, we felt that this was imposing on our privacy, and that we felt that there might be a better place for this treehouse. Now,
let me ask you before we go any further, are you a member of a homeowners association?
No, sir, this is a private residence. We live in a subdivision. There are no homeowners statutes, or not statutes, homeowner regulations that that govern this. This was simply a neighbor-to-neighbor question that we had.
All right, go ahead.
And as I said, I'm just a little bit nervous, so I hope you'll bear with me.
We're bearing with you fine.
I went next door and asked him if he would remove this tree house, this playhouse, to another portion of his yard where it was not overlooking our backyard and overlooking our windows and looking into various portions of the house. He suggested that we draw our curtains, and further suggested that if we were planning on sunbathing, that we do it at another time of the day when his children were not in the playhouse.
That doesn't sound reasonable.
No, sir, it didn't sound reasonable to me either.
Do you sunbathe with no clothes on? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, my wife does, and on occasion I do, and it's nothing that we're not nudists or anything like that. We feel it's just part of our rights as homeowners to sunbathe. We have a pool that we enjoy. He also suggested that we draw our blinds. And this tree house looks directly down into not only a sliding glass door that views onto the kitchen table, but also looks down into 2 or 3 of the bathrooms, which border the back of the house. And I recognize that children have a right to play in a tree house. I do not recognize their right. Excuse me.
All right. Do you need a glass of water?
If you don't mind, I'd like to do that.
All right, sir. We're talking to you. Go ahead and get your glass of water, and I'll just update the audience, okay?
Thank you.
We're talking to Mr. Jay Santos, who lives in Diamond Bar, has a dispute going with a neighbor. His kids had a tree house that was overlooking his property. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead with your story.
The neighborhood kids can sit up in the tree house and look down through the windows of our house, and some of these windows are into bathrooms and other areas where private business is being taken care of. So I again asked him, would he consider moving the tree house? I would pay for the moving of that tree house. He refused, saying that it was his property, that they had a right to place that house wherever they wanted to. I had a dispute with him.
All right, so let me just cut to the chase with you. What happened? You got into some trouble, didn't you?
I took care of the problem myself, yes, sir.
What did you do?
I removed the tree house myself. I took it, basically knocked it down.
Now you took you went onto his property, didn't you? And you destroyed this piece of private this private property of his, this tree house, didn't you?
I had asked him countless times if he would remove this. It was offending and intruding on our privacy. He said that he would not, and I took matters into my own hands. I went onto his property and I cut the house down, basically by sawing through 2 of the supports and allowing it to collapse on into his yard. I took care that it would not collapse onto any adjoining fences, and I took care that it would not collapse onto any power lines that were near it. But I did cut the supports out from under it and causing it to collapse down onto the lawn there in the backyard.
Now, how high up was this treehouse?
I would say it was about 25 feet up in the air, at which time he came to my residence and a physical altercation ensued. He attempted to assault me and commit battery, and we had to involve the police in this. I also demanded a citizen's arrest, which time the police officers did place him under arrest.
Okay, now we're going to get up to speed here and recap. You cut down this guy's treehouse, his kid's treehouse, and the cops arrested him.
Sir, I was battered and I was assaulted by him, and I told the officers the story, and they did arrest him. They also arrested me for trespassing, for criminal trespass, and for vandal and destruction of private property. It was my contention to the police that a intolerable situation existed, as the result of his kid's treehouse, and that I was simply doing what anyone would do when denied their privacy, and that's what we feel he did in this situation.
So you felt you had a matter having to do with privacy. Why didn't you get a lawyer and sue the guy, or take him to court, or do something in terms of the court system that would not have necessitated you going and destroying this property?
Because I was not in the mood, and I was not, frankly, financially capable of hiring an attorney for something as frivolous as this. My neighbor completely overreacted when I took care of his treehouse, and it is my opinion that that overreaction is what put him in jail and what put me in jail as well. Because I attempted to defend myself, the police officers then listened to him, and this entire thing ensued.
So the end result is this guy is asking you for all kinds of monies. I mean, he's asking you for like $50,000 in medical bills.
I think that it's absolutely absurd, and I think that it's something that cannot exist. I offered to pay for half of his daughter's medical bills, because...
When you say what happened to his daughter? Sir?
Yes, I'm right here.
What, you said he is asking you to pay for half of his daughter's medical bills?
Yes.
What happened to his daughter? Did you do something to his daughter?
No, I did nothing directly to his daughter, but she was injured when the treehouse was cut down. She was apparently asleep inside of it. I'm very sorry for that. I didn't know that there was a child inside of it. Had I known that, I never would have done that.
Good God. I mean, did you think to look inside?
All I know is that I had asked him for months to move the treehouse. He didn't do it. I went next door. I took care of the problem myself. Now, I've offered to pay for half, and only half, of the daughter's medical injuries, because his daughter was irresponsible by being up there. I'd asked him not to be up there. I'd asked him not to spy on our property. The father was negligent in allowing his children to be up in that treehouse. I will only pay for half, not all.
But you're very sorry you hurt this kid.
Yes, Mr. Henry, it goes without saying I'm sorry I hurt the child. But, again, this was an untenable situation created by a man who simply would not listen to me when I said move that treehouse, so I took care of the problem. I'm sorry about the kid.
My understanding is the child suffered a broken pelvis, had a concussion, and some broken ribs.
That's generally what will happen if you're sitting in a treehouse and it comes 20 feet to the ground. It's what's going to happen.
All right, so you went next door to his house with a Black & Decker chainsaw, and you sawed the supports out from under this thing.
Yes, sir. That's what I told your producer. That's what I told the police.
All right, Jay Santos is on the line. He lives in Diamond Bar. He had a dispute with a neighbor who had a treehouse overlooking his property. He thought it was an invasion of his privacy. He decided to take a chainsaw and cut it down, and the next-door neighbor's daughter was sleeping inside of it at the time. Now, I wonder, these tree houses that sit overlooking private property, I wonder if that is first of all, I wonder if that's an infringement or an invasion of the next-door neighbor's privacy. And I certainly am not in favor of going over and destroying private property, and I think that this idiot probably should have looked inside the treehouse before he knocked it down. But I wonder how far you are pushed before you take matters into your own hands there. When he asked this guy to move the treehouse, it was not once, it wasn't twice, it was over a period of 6 months, and the guy never did it. Our number is 1-800-5, and he was arrested after the man came over and assaulted him. 1-800-5201-KFI Orange County, 5201-KFI in L.A. County. It's the Phil Hendry Show on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Here's Alan LeGreen in the KFI Traffic Center.
Dr. Laura, tomorrow at noon on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.
I got chlamydia.
You son of a bitch.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Welcome back to the Phil Hendry Show at 1-800-5201-KFI in Orange County, 5201-KFI in L.A. County. With me is Jay Santos. He lives in Diamond Bar. He was living next door to an individual at a treehouse on stilts next to his property that he felt was an invasion of his privacy. The kids were going up into the treehouse. They could look down on his backyard while he and his wife would sunbathe. Apparently, they're looking back through the windows in the back of the house, Mr. Santos?
Yes, sir. had full access to look through bedroom windows, and we're doing remodeling, so we don't have curtains or curtain rods up, and there was a bathroom in the rear of the house.
All right, the part about all of this that really bothers me, and I know that it bothers you, is you asked him to move it. When he didn't move it, you went back to his property, you went onto his property with a chainsaw, and you cut the treehouse down, not knowing that there was a sleeping child inside of it.
I feel very bad about that. And again, I offer to pay for half of the medical bills. One of the instigations of this problem was that these children going up into the treehouse were very noisy. He had built a wheelchair ramp for his daughter because she is disabled, so that she could get up to the treehouse. Apparently she had some problem with her legs, polio or some such thing, I don't know. But the point is that this ramp made quite a bit of noise. And
Is this the kid that was sleeping up in the is this the kid that was sleeping in the treehouse?
yes, and I'm not saying that I'm proud of what...
So you, a kid in a wheelchair wheeled her way up to a treehouse and you cut it down?
I'm not here to be the butt of any joke, and I'm not here...
No, sir, I'm not trying to make it a joke. This girl was crippled, and she's up in a treehouse sleeping, and then you sawed the treehouse down, and now she's in the hospital.
As I said, I'm not here to be the butt of any joke, but because she's crippled doesn't mean that she should get special attention. What I am asking for is privacy.
And what is the legal basis?
The Constitution of the United States, which provides us for privacy.
Okay, I got to get to some calls here. Simi Valley on KFI AM 640. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
A couple of things. I'm amused. I'm not from Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
There's some historic build that's not interesting.
It's what?
It's build. It's gotten more interesting as he's told it. This treehouse was supposedly 25 feet in the air.
Yes, sir.
How do you build a ramp for a crippled kid to go 25 feet up?
I have no idea. There was some kind of a ramp there for the children, for this disabled daughter to utilize so she could have some access to the treehouse.
I'm sorry, but I've been involved with the Disabilities Act, and there's no way you can build a ramp to go up 25 feet and stay in somebody's half-acre yard.
I don't know if it went all the way up to the top of the treehouse. I know there was a ramp in the backyard that the girl used.
Well, it has to be pretty low down. Second, what prevents you from putting up trees?
I'm not putting up trees or changing my property at all. He's the one that built the treehouse. He's the one that can move it.
Well, you know,
I don't see how it necessitates me spending my money to keep my privacy, because he doesn't have the common sense and the common decency to put that treehouse in a part of his yard that doesn't infringe on my privacy.
He owns that property and has every right to put whatever he wants on that.
His children up there.
Oh, yes, he does.
Staring off into my property where there are private things going on. My property is my property as well.
He has perfect legal right to put that treehouse up. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a judge.
And why does he want his children looking at naked sunbathing adults?
He didn't put it up for his naked neighbors.
When I told him that my wife and I sunbathe in the nude, and it didn't seem to interest him at all, I said, for the sake of the children, why don't you move it?
Well, I mean, all of this is well and good, but it still doesn't give you the right to go over there and saw the guy's treehouse down.
I asked him to move it. He didn't. Don't you think my neighbor acted with a great deal of gall?
No, I think you did.
So he wants his children up there, one of whom is disabled, to look at me and my wife, to stare through windows while we're going to the bathroom and every other thing.
Take no offense at this.
These children
But how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 35 years old.
35.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what you look like, but I doubt his kids are going to go up and get excited looking at you.
Well, let me ask you this.
Your wife?
If you're sunbathing naked and you have kids staring at you, is that okay with you?
Hey, that's their problem.
That's okay with you having children look at you? Well, buddy,
I don't care.
I don't know what kind of problems you got, but I'm glad I don't have them.
I don't have any. You're the one with the hang-up.
Well, you're the guy that likes to have kids looking at you while you're naked.
No.
Well, that's
his problem.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
I doubt the kids are up looking. If it concerns you, why
Tell you
can't...
what, if your kids are looking at
You'll
me...
pay to move the tree house, but you won't pay for a tree.
No, I didn't say I'd pay to move the tree house.
You did too. You said, you asked, the second time you went over, you said you'd pay to move the tree house.
I said that I would, but he turned me down.
Well, why wouldn't you pay for a stupid tree?
This stupid kid of his in a wheelchair making a lot of noise.
You know what I got a problem with is an idiot that doesn't like kids.
I don't mind kids. I don't think they should...
Oh, let's see. We've just referred to his daughter as stupid. You discount the fact you don't give a flip the shoes in the tree. You damaged her. You hurt the kid.
She was
You're responsible for all the stinking money.
Sir,
I'd take your ass to court and nail you 6 ways to Sunday.
If you nail me 6 ways to sunset, I could countersue you for getting your jollies having kids staring at you with your thing hanging out.
You'd never win that in court in a million years.
You're the guy that said that you didn't mind a kid staring at you while your thing was hanging out in the backyard, and that to me is a greater sickness than anything that I was involved in.
No, that's the dad's responsibility, not yours to decide what his kids do or do not.
Let me tell you the difference between you and me. I'm not a pervert.
All right, I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying it's the next-door neighbor's problem, okay?
I didn't come onto this program to talk about someone's perversions. I came...
No, what you got on to talk about what an ass you are for going into somebody's yard and cutting their tree down.
All right, I'm sorry that the kid was up in the tree.
And then you don't want to take responsibility for the damage you did to a kid.
I'll tell you this much. I'll pay for half, but I'll tell you this much, since that kid's been in the...
Why should the dad pay for half when you're the idiot that cut it down?
Because he's the guy with the stupid kid with the wheelchair making all the noise.
Oh, now the kid's stupid again.
Well, I asked the kid to quit making all the wheelchair racket, and she's going up and down this ramp and every other damn thing.
All right, so you take a kid in a wheelchair, she goes up to her treehouse, you saw it down, now she's in a hospital.
And it's been goddamn quiet ever since, I'll tell you that.
And watch your language.
I beg your pardon?
I said to watch your language, please.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you for your call, sir, in Simi Valley. 1-800-5201-KFI in Orange County. 5201-KFI. This poor kid's in a wheelchair. She goes up to enjoy her treehouse, and he saws it down while she's asleep in it. What a mess. 1-800-5201-KFI Orange County, 5201-KFI LA County. It's the Phil Hendry Show here on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Terry Ray Elmer's in the KFI News Center.
Hey, babe, where are the kids?
Tammy Bruce, tonight at 11 on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.
What?
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-5201-KFI in Orange County, 5201-KFI in LA County. Mr. Santos, are you there?
Yes, sir.
The question I have here is, you are basing going over to this man's property. We have a gentleman on the line here, Jay Santos from Diamond Bar, who went to another man's property. Guy had a tree house on his property that he thought was an invasion of his privacy, and he went over and sawed the tree house down. Now, this thing was on, it wasn't in a tree, right?
No, sir, it was not in a tree. It was a house basically built on 2 wooden supports that sort of rose up into a large tree that he had in his backyard, but I assume that he felt it wasn't safe for his children to be in a tree house, so he built this, and I proved to him that that wasn't safe either.
Well, you sawed this thing down with a how old is the girl that was in it?
I don't know. I'm told she was 10 or 11 years old. She was disabled.
So she wheeled herself up a ramp to get into the treehouse, and then you chopped it down and sent her to the hospital.
I'm not proud of it, but this could have been avoided had this man taken this treehouse down. She liked to spend a lot of time up there spying on me. I'm not a fool. I know that this man had sent his kids up there to spy on us. And
well, what makes you think he's sending the kids up? All right, hold on for a minute. I got to take a call. You think the kids are up there spying on you?
I know that he sent his daughter up there to spy on us to see what improvements we were making. Like to take a look at my wife sunbathing nude. I don't know whether the kids are taking pictures or what kind of perversions he had them involved in. But
do you have any proof at all of any of this?
I've heard some things.
Do you have any proof of this?
There are some individuals on our block that don't appreciate this man's behavior any more than I do, and we've got our suspicions.
So it's a lot of neighborhood gossip.
That's all I want to say right now.
All right, San Diego on KFI AM 640. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm calling about this absurd story, and I can't believe that 2 grown adult men would actually get into such an argument where a young child would be hurt.
Well, I'm very sorry that she was hurt.
And you talk about, well, I'll pay half. You know what? The money doesn't even matter now, because the fact of the matter is that there was a child involved, and you should be embarrassed. Both of you should
Well,
be
why was
embarrassed.
he sending this little crippled girl up there to spy
Both
on
of you
us?
should, it doesn't matter whether she's crippled or not. You should be totally embarrassed that you actually, both of you couldn't even get along,
Well,
for
let me ask
one.
you something, ma'am. Why was she up there when I took it out?
She's a kid.
Well, I don't think he should have had his children up there.
Well,
You
it's
know,
like
and,
like they said, it's his property, and like I said, you know, you should be embarrassed where you got to the point where you got so angry where you went over there and chopped that treehouse down where that poor little girl was in.
Well, I'll tell you something. It could have been avoided had the kid not been bothering me with that noise.
It could have been avoided, period, if you two would have just worked it out.
Well, I tried to work it out, ma'am. I asked him, will you
Yeah,
please
you worked
move
it out
Will
to where
please
you
move
got
it?
so upset where you went over there and you chopped the treehouse down.
That's right, and I
And
solved the problem.
now there's an innocent child involved
That's
who
not
got
my
hurt,
kid.
who happens to be disabled,
Yeah,
and
that's not right.
it's totally embarrassing on both of yours part.
I can tell you this much, I solved the problem.
Yeah, but what about the hurt child?
I'm sorry for that, but it's not my kid. And again, I offered to pay for half.
I mean, the kid
That
is
is
hurt.
so ridiculous.
Why
That
is
is so ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous? I offered
Because-
to pay half her medical bills.
Half. Here we go. It's not about money.
The man drives.
It's about being a person of dignity and pride, and just sucking
Dignity
it up
and
and
pride.
just saying,
He
okay,
sends his kids
so
up
I made
there.
a mistake. Okay, let's work it out.
So he sends his kids up into the treehouse to take pictures of me while I'm on the
You have
toilet.
no proof.
To
You
take
just said
pictures
you
of me.
have no proof.
The man drives a Jaguar, and there's some things in the neighborhood people have said about him.
Well,
to take pictures of me while
Do you
I'm
believe
sitting
everything you hear?
Do you send your children up into tree houses to take pictures of people on toilets?
How do you know this? You
I've heard some.
You have no proof.
Some pictures were circulated.
You have. No
Are you
proof.
saying there were pictures?
I received one in the mail.
Oh,
What did you receive in the mail?
I received a picture. This is very embarrassing for me and for my family. And to be...
No, what did you receive in the mail, sir?
I received a picture which was an aerial photo of some kind of me on doing the business on the can.
Through a window.
Yes, sir. And I believe the daughter was behind it and was the ringleader.
Did you chop that treehouse down knowing she was in it?
No, sir, I did not.
I'm going to ask you again. Did you chop that treehouse down knowing this kid was in it?
Sir, I believe she was the ringleader of a group of children who were taking pictures of me while I was on the toilet, while my wife was sunbathing nude. I did not, and I would not admit to anything like that. That would be illegal.
All right, thank you for your call in San Diego tonight. Here is Santa Barbara on KFI AM 640. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
My name is John, and I'm an attorney, and I'm also citizen judge pro tem.
Yes, sir.
And my view about this is that I'm, first of all, surprised this gentleman has not been criminally prosecuted for acting with reckless abandon and for criminal trespass.
I was arrested for that. Yes, sir.
And what was the outcome of that, sir?
It's pending.
I see. So I suspect that he will be convicted on all counts of criminal trespass.
Oh, and I was physically assaulted by this man who came next door and physically...
Well, you chopped down a treehouse with his kid inside of it.
Well, let me just say, I mean, two rights don't make a wrong, but sitting as a judge pro tem, I will tell you, first of all, there's no private right to go into another person's land, and this is what we call vigilante justice. And in engaging in that engaging in that kind of action simply is uncalled for and not permitted by the law.
Well, sir,
and you don't, excuse me again, if you don't cut me
you're
off.
not in a court of law right now, so you can't talk to me like you're a judge.
Well, I'm the host of the show. Let me say that the man in Santa Barbara has the floor here. I'm hosting the show, or I can hang up on you, Mr. Santos. You can have it any way you want it, okay?
Doesn't matter to me.
I mean, but the truth is that we are a land of laws. We're not a land of individual people taking rights that they think are fit or that they see fit.
Oh, boy.
But I must tell you that my take on this is that this gentleman sounds as if he is quite paranoid and that he and his wife need some type of psychiatric counseling. But quite frankly, what he ought to have been doing is, if he's so concerned about his privacy, is put up curtains. And unless he builds a
Yes,
fence or a
sir.
hedge.
We are doing construction on the rear of our home. We do not have curtain rods up. It is all in a state of construction. So we go back.
I will, sir. Let me just tell you. I have seen dozens of cases, sir. I have seen dozens of cases.
I do not go to the toilet, sir, with the thought that children are staring at me.
So I've taken dozens of cases involving privacy and seeking from. And
what
I will tell you, sir. I will tell you that it's true to have a privacy home, but quite frankly, in this particular instance, you don't have a right. You don't have a right to privately enforce that privacy by going onto another person's land. And I will tell you that if you think that in a court of law that you would only pay 1/2 of the expenses of his daughter, you are simply wrong.
Well, sir, I will say this. Number one, he says his daughter was hurt. The kid was crippled in the first place. So how can he say that, oh, she's been so terribly hurt? She was half broken anyway, sitting in a wheelchair. She already had bum legs. So
wait a second, man. The kid was up in a treehouse.
Excuse me, Mr. Henry, but I think I have the floor here. And I'm also talking to a man who's on a digital car phone, aren't you?
Why is that an issue, sir?
Because it bothers me.
It sounds as if there's an awful lot of things. Sounds as if there's an awful lot of things that bother you, sir.
You're an attorney and you're a judge pro tem, and you feel you can laugh at me.
Well, what's the problem with that?
I don't like the fact that he's on a digital phone, and I would ask him respectfully to switch to an analog phone now.
Why?
I would ask again that he switch to an analog phone. I don't like them.
And I'm going to ask you again, why?
I have reason to believe that the conversations we're having could be monitored.
Well, sir, why would it matter if it's monitored? There's several 100,000 people listening.
I beg your pardon?
Why would it matter if it's monitored? There's several 100,000 people listening. It sounds to me, sir, that the kind of paranoia that you ascribe to my digital phone simply has been translated into your paranoia about privacy. I must tell you, sir, if you were sitting before my court, I would recommend that you go through an extensive psychiatric screening.
Yeah, and I got another
question.
It seems
to me that you require it.
I got another question. If the wheelchair that you say this little girl was in made so much noise, how could you not know that she was up there?
I don't have any further comment to make on that.
So you did know the kid was up there?
I don't have any comment to make on it. I will again say respectfully to the gentleman in Santa Barbara, please call me back on an analog phone. A digital phone is very easily utilized and manipulated in terms of signal so that things can be overheard and recorded. There are
I suspect that this gentleman is also concerned about
government agencies that have reviewed my case, and I do not doubt for a second that the CIA and affiliated organizations in connection with this government would have some things to say about this.
Well, I think that this gentleman fears that little green men are spying on him from satellites. And I rest
I will say this.
It requires the kind of psychiatric counseling that we spoke of.
I will say
the kind of paranoia that he displays on the air is really quite prevalent.
I will not bow down to a little crippled kid. I bow to no one.
You won't bow down to a little crippled kid. So what you did is you cut down a treehouse, and now she's in the hospital.
Yeah, the only one who's handicapped here is her, sir, not me.
It sounds to me as if this gentleman is acting with complete reckless disregard, and really where
Would you throw the book at him?
Most of his time is either in therapy or jail.
Would you throw the book at him?
I certainly would.
I will say this, Mr. Judge Pro Tem. She's the one who'll get the handicap parking when she's old enough to drive. She's the one who'll get all the benefits. She's the one who'll be the beneficiary of the Disabilities Act. She's the one who gets the sympathy. What about me?
Well, sir, I tell you what you get, sir. What you simply get is you get to go to jail because you don't get to decide what her rights are. You get to decide what your rights are. That is for a court of law.
Are you
and that you acted on your own.
Are you out of
and in reckless disregard of private property rights and in reckless disregard of anyone's rights whatsoever in that tree and that child's safety.
I don't want to,
sir, it seems to me that where you ought to spend your time is in jail. And quite frankly, if you have a God, you ought to spend it in very, very serious reflection as to why it is you feel as if you need to act on your own in causing harm to others.
Why do I have to go to jail?
Sir, you're harming
Are you crying now?
Why do I have to go to jail? I don't want to go.
What is he doing? Is he going nuts here?
I don't want to go to jail.
Well, sir, You know, I think as your parents probably said to you when you were very young, you should have thought about that before you crossed the line.
Okay, we've got a nut situation on our hands here. This guy must be suffering from lead poisoning.
Well, I think I must tell you, he must have been drinking what that woman had when she went to the Citadel.
I think there's some mercury poisoning. Thank you very much for your call.
You're welcome.
1-800-5201.
I want to go.
I'm not going to send you to jail. I'm doing a talk show here. When am I going to send you to jail? 1-800-5201-KFI, Orange County, 5201-KFI. You ready for that guy? You talking to him, Jonah? See if he's still crying. It's Phil Hendry Show here on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. Alan LeGreen now.
Tomorrow morning before 9. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio.
Oh, that's hot.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. 1-800-5201. Oh, hi, Tim. 1-800-5201-KFI in Orange County. 5201-KFI in LA County. All right, we're talking here with Jay Santos. Mr. Santos has a neighbor. Excuse me, I shouldn't be laughing, but Mr. Santos, you there? Okay, we had to take care of him because he was going through a problem. Do you think you're going to go to jail, sir?
I'm told that I will not have to go to jail, but I don't want to go to jail. I'm sorry what happened to the little girl. I didn't know that she was still inside the treehouse when they took it out.
No, I'm not aware of this. What happened?
When they removed the treehouse, they removed her with a Bobcat, a front loader, and she apparently was still in it, and they deposited it in the back of a dump truck.
I didn't know about this.
She went flailing around in there because she can't move, and...
well, now, let me get this right. There's a little girl next door who's using a wheelchair ramp that's making too much noise. She goes up into a treehouse. She's in a wheelchair. You go over there and saw the treehouse. It comes crashing down. She's inside the crashed treehouse. They take it out of there with a front loader and dump it into a dump truck with her still in it?
That's correct.
What, are you trying to kill her?
No, sir, I didn't even know...
Sounds to me like you're trying to kill her. She's already crippled. She goes up into the treehouse, you chop it down, then they use a front loader and dump it into it. Don't tell me what they did. Did they get her out?
They got her out eventually, yeah, but they took it to a refuse site.
So not only does the kid endure a treehouse collapsing on her and getting front loaded into the back of a dump truck, then the dump truck takes her to a dump site and dumps her out?
I was only trying to deactivate her. I wasn't trying to hurt her.
God, man, you have got a lawsuit?
Oh, I know, I'm in trouble.
You have got a lawsuit, man. Ontario on KFI AM 640. Hello?
Yeah, I want to talk to this guy, Jay. It seems to me like he has a lot of rage inside of him.
I've got a lot of anger, you bet.
You said you worked it out. You never worked nothing out with the guy. You know, people in Southern California, houses are right on top of each other. You know, you're cutting your own yard, and then
Are you on a digital car phone?
Huh?
Are you on a digital car phone?
That's got nothing to do with this.
I asked the other man, and I'm asking you, why are you on a digital car phone?
I'm on a cellular phone, sir.
I understand that, sir. Is it analog or digital?
It's push button.
That does not answer my question.
Never mind about analog or digital, okay? Go ahead and make your point.
Okay, and another thing is, why, we're talking about somebody, what kind of noise was the crippled girl that was in the wheelchair, what kind of noise was she making in the playhouse?
She, going up and down the wheelchair ramp, made an awful lot of noise in the playhouse. She's going up and down, and she's singing all these songs from a play that I did not particularly like. It was, I don't know if you've seen...
I thought you said she didn't have a ramp. It didn't have a ramp.
No, it had a ramp, sir. It was a wheelchair ramp.
Well, you know what? Your problem is...
she was singing songs from a play that I do not particularly like, and it may be petty, but I did not like Annie.
The best way to settle...
I didn't want to hear her sing, Sun Comes Out Tomorrow.
The best way to settle this whole thing is you ought to pay for all the medical expense.
I will not do that.
Wait a minute. I agree with this man.
That's what I just said. Then you don't have no sympathy for anybody.
Sir, I said I would pay for half if this crippled kid is driving me nuts, but the sun will come out tomorrow from Annie. So I sawed the treehouse down. I'm sorry about that.
It not only was sawed down, but she got thrown into a dump truck
Did you say you don't have no sympathy for nobody?
I said you don't have no sympathy for nobody, or else you'd pay for this. Hey, nobody hurt
And I'm
you.
the idiot.
Nobody hurt you.
Sir, that kid was singing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow from Annie.
Yeah, nobody hurt you.
Did you hear what I just said to you?
The sun will come up tomorrow?
That's right, that song's from Annie.
What does that got to do with
Oh, God, I hate it all. I hate it all.
this? What's that got to do with this?
I hated that crippled little kid singing that song.
That's what she sung. Listen, let me tell you, you ought to pay for all. Have you talked to her parents?
I did talk. Yeah, I kicked him directly in the groin. The guy said, I talked to her parents. She came over to school.
Let me tell you, you're big time immature. You didn't work nothing out.
You need a mental
You
hospital.
didn't work nothing out, buddy.
I tried to work it out with him, and
This is another thing in Southern California that got out of control.
You
just
got
like
it.
road rage, everything else.
I'll tell you this much, sir. I tried to work it out, but every day I heard the little wheelchair going up the ramp. The sun comes out tomorrow, tomorrow. Everybody, oh,
You know what you need? You need therapy. You need therapy.
You need a doctor, a psychiatrist,
You need
absolutely.
therapy.
All right, I'll get some therapy, but I swear to God, when that kid comes out of the hospital and she sings...
Let me tell you what, you ain't gonna have nothing when that kid gets out of the hospital.
I ain't gonna have nothing.
She's gonna have she's gonna have the last laugh on you.
I'm gonna drop kiss her to the sun.
She's gonna have the last laugh on you, buddy.
KFI Los Angeles, more stimulating talk radio.
I'll get her.
She's gonna have the last laugh on you.
Maximum talk, minimum wage. KFI Los Angeles, more stimulating talk radio.
Oh, that's hot.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for our good friend Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police. God damn it, Bud, turn that down.
Sorry.
Thing blasting my freaking ears out, man. And Jay, how are you?
Phil is doing very good. We're getting ready for coming out here and get together Peep Tom 2015.
Many
Phil.
state are broken. A duly authorized organization swings into action.
Yeah.
It may be
All
called
right.
the state police,
Get
state
over there.
troopers,
Yeah, right.
militia, the rangers,
Or Citizens Auxiliary Police.
These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage
Yeah,
have enforced
yeah.
and preserved
So,
our state law.
right now, Phil, I will tell you where we are right now. Is just essentially, cruising around, trying to just, in our own way, trying to make sure that we've got a good handle on what's going to be happening here in the for the next several months, because what is happening for the next several months, Phil, is we're going to be going through the neighborhoods. We're going to be looking to see if there are women who are being compromised, if there are women who are being taken advantage of with these peep tom, what we call a peep tom. I know the technical term is a peeping tom, but for us in the Citizens Auxiliary Police, and for me and mine, we prefer to shorten it. It's something that police are going to do, and we call it peep tom. The program, the project, which originated last summer, will continue. And I just one more comment, Phil. I know you have some questions you probably want to ask. Extra comment would be that we do have right now a deal in place with a production company we hope is...
Well, I wanted to get to that.
What is the name of the production company?
I'm really not at liberty to say right now, but we are going to produce a series of Citizens Auxiliary Police shows that we hope will, people are going to enjoy and they'll like to watch,
Okay, fine. Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police with us. Now, you guys are out and about tonight doing what?
We're out and about tonight, and we're going to be looking for Peep Tom, or Operation Tommy Peep.
What is the name of this thing? I know that thing's called Peeping Tom.
Yeah, it's called Peeping Tom, but that's not the name of the operation.
What is the name of your operation?
Did you get your tooth fixed, Miss Gray?
I did, thank you. I had to cram a piece of cardboard up in there.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not. And believe me when I tell you that Dr. Sanders will hear from me first thing in the morning. I went over there to have a... What are you looking at, Bud?
Ew, God! What's happened?
What do you mean? What are you looking at?
Well, you got a piece of cardboard. I thought I went to a doctor.
The doctor put a crown in there, and it wasn't worth the... I'll tell you what right now. The crown that he put in my tooth was probably how much his education cost to get through dental school. I think the amount that he spent on the crown he put up there and the amount that he spent to get himself through dental school, probably something around $9.95. Never mind.
In other words, you got a cheap job done.
Yes, I think so.
So, in other words, you had to,
Phil, there's not this in other words. I'm telling you.
But Margaret, you jammed cardboard up in there because the crown fell off?
If the crown didn't fall off, it has a hole in it. So there's air getting through, and as a result, you're hearing that lateral lisp. So what I did was, I took actually the cardboard from a cigarette pack, and I found this cigarette pack in Bud's gear over there, so don't worry, it's not me smoking.
Bud took my cigarettes?
I didn't take your... Never mind.
Just tell the story.
And I formed a plug, and I plugged it up in there.
So you put a plug in it.
You
Hey, come on! Don't see it!
Phil, I don't have time for this bull,
All right, fine. I just wanted to find out about...
What bull?
Ms. Gray, I've got bigger fish to fry, okay? I got way bigger fish to fry.
Oh, do you now? You have bigger fish to fry.
Hey, look, I'll tell you something, Santos. The only fish you got to fry, my friend, is probably when you get home, you'll pull something out of the freezer, lay that in a pan with a little bit of oil and butter, and perhaps a bit of garlic, cook it for about 3.5, 4 minutes, try and take a bite out of that, realize it's inedible, throw it in the street. Yeah! Well, that's a real put down. This guy...
Hey, General, that one more time you try to get out a good put down, you can't say diddly squid.
Diddly squid? Now look, Santos, everybody knows you ain't a cop.
Hey, let me tell you what, whether you people there think I'm a cop or not, the fact that we've got Operation Tom Peep is going to save a lot of women.
Operation Tom Peep now. I thought it was called Peeping Tom.
It is called the guy that looks through a window to try to get his cookies, that's called a Peeping Tom.
Yes, so why don't you call it that?
Because we call it Operation Tom Peep.
What do you mean, Operation Tom Peep? You said it's Tom Peep.
Yeah, it's Tom Peep.
No, you said Palm Teep. All right, it's Operation Peeping Tom. How about that?
No. It's Operation Peeping Tom. It's Operation... It doesn't make any difference. Who gives a shit?
Hey, Jay, watch the language.
You guys get to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm the host of the show. So you are out right now, out and about, and...
That's right, Phil, and what we're going to do is monitor the radio. Turn the radio up, will you? Hey, Gleason, turn it up. Okay. Comfort Channel, Frank. I'm on Channel 16. What do you got over there? Got a frog fin. Okay, we got a peeper. Let's go. Go.
Now, you have a peeper where?
We have a peeper over here on Harlan. And, and we're just turning up Harlan now. There's a woman who's bent over, and she's got the comics spread out on the floor, and apparently she's laying on the floor stark naked.
And you know this how?
Because one of our Oscars is over there right now. He has identified a peeper. It's time to peep. All right. Once we get over there, Phil, we're going to jump from the vehicle. We got Major Elvis Newton is with us. Major Newton, are you all right?
I'm fine, yes. That's exciting.
And here's a box of those cheese bits, too. Major Newton likes to have. You want the cheese bits or what?
Oh, I want squeezed cheese.
Major Newton needs the squeezed cheese. Who's got the squeezed cheese? So, Phil...
now, Major Elvis Newton is with you, the founder of the Citizens Auxiliary Police.
That is correct. He's with us here. He's watching one of a closed circuit. What are you watching right now?
That's a Wheel of Fortune.
He's got a Wheel of Fortune on now, but he will. And Major Newton...
What is the purpose of Major Newton being there?
Yeah, what is he doing besides eating squeezed cheese?
Why don't you go straight to hell?
What does that mean? Jay, what was that all about?
I'm getting sick and tired of all the smart asses and everything like that. All right, pull up here. All right, we're going to jump out, and Major Newton, you all right? Plug the Senate stream. Let's go. All right, we're going through, Phil. Right now, we're on our way over to this address at 2515 Halderan.
Is there a Peeping Tom at that address?
Yes, ma'am, there is. Okay. All right, we're at the window here. Is this the bedroom window here?
That's the bedroom where the lady is.
All right. Looking in the window to see where if there is nudity. And again, Mr. Andy, you got to understand, we're not. We have to check to make sure that there was no peeper looking at a nude. All right.
Well, what are you looking at?
We're looking at what? Yeah, she is nude, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Excuse me?
Yeah, what are you doing, Santos?
I'm looking at the lady. Hold on for a minute. Oh, yeah. Yeah, check it out, will you? Hell, yeah. Yeah. Hey, what are you guys doing? Excuse me, sir. I'm Jay Santos. What are you guys doing? We put that weapon down, sir. What are you doing? I'm Jay Santos, Citizens Auxiliary Police.
Sounds like Jay has a visitor there. It sounds like a husband.
Where are they anyway? In the jungle? It sounds like it's Rama of the jungle.
Sir, put down the weapon, okay? What are you doing on my butt? Sir, we were checking to see if your wife, she is nude, and there was a peeper here. Yeah, it says a peeper was you guys. No, it was not us, sir. Put the weapon down. All right, Gleason, 1, 2, and go. 3-step drop. Hey, what's that up there? Looks like Superman. Huh? Got him. Get the weapon away. Get the weapon. All right, one in custody.
Hey, Santos, you have no right to pull a guy into custody.
We do if he pulls a weapon on us, and this guy pulled a weapon.
Yeah, probably pulled a weapon, all right. You had your weapon pulled.
Hey, you know something, Dickman? Even if I had, that's called collateral, okay?
Even if you had what?
If I had my...
Oh, my God.
If I had my wiener out, okay? Now, you guys are going to be in trouble. Now, sir, you pulled a weapon. We were checking for a peeper. We did have an identity of a peeper Tom. Are you the husband here? That's my wife. Guy peeping at her. There was a man peeping in. I know, it was you. No, it was not us, sir. 21-53. 21-53 on the prime time. All right, we're going to head on back to the truck now, and we're going to get this guy in custody. Get in the back. What are you guys doing? It's kidnapping. Get in there, you slob. All right, Phil, we're on our way to another call now. Wait, keep saying.
Jay, can you talk to me for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
You got a guy there, a husband, who thinks you're peeping in his wife's window. What happened there?
We had a peeper in the area. How many times am I going to tell you?
Jay, all we know is that you went over there because you said there was someone peeping in the window. By the time you got over there, this is what we heard. You were going almost as if you were getting your cookies.
Yeah, why don't you admit it, Santos? You're looking in the window getting your cookies.
No, I was not. That is called residual and collateral. It's going to happen. You're going to look in the window. You're going to see a lady there, and you're going to see her naughty,
Oh, you're going to see her naughty. This guy Santos is a danger to every living swinging dick out there.
God! Hey, General,
No, I mean it. And Henry, if I put it on you, you better get the cops on this guy.
What are you going to call cops on?
All right, now where are you going now?
What did I just say? Hold on for a minute.
You're looking for another peeper.
No, we got a report of another peeper. What about my wife? Why don't you just shut your mouth? Major Newton's going to read you your rights. Yeah, the right to remain silent. My name is Major Elvis Newton. How are you? I don't know who you are. Clemency Supreme? Clemency Supreme. All right, we got another one, Phil. This is a peeper over on Jefferson Circle or Jefferson Drive? Jefferson. Yeah, is it Jefferson Circle or Jefferson Drive? Say again. Got Peep Tom, Peep Tom Jefferson. Jefferson Circle or Jefferson Drive? Which is it? Sandermac. Is it Jefferson Circle or Jefferson Drive? Jefferson Circle, Jefferson Drive. Jefferson Circle. All right, then say it the first time, okay? Because we can't... All right, hit it. It's on Jefferson Circle, Phil. We got an emergency now, so we do feel... All right, hit it. There's a guy looking in a window down there on Jefferson Circle. And as soon as we pull it up there now, let's, go see him soon, all right, Phil, we're running over. Peeping Tom over the window here on the 3.
Have you caught up to the guy?
No, we're standing at the window right now.
Let me tell you something, man. This sounds pretty sick, okay?
Oh, my God. Are you trying to say I'm getting a cookie?
That's exactly what we're saying. It sounds like you're standing at the window there.
Let me explain something to you, General, because I know you're in the military, but you know police work. That's residual, okay?
What do you mean by residual?
Yeah, you've been saying that now.
Residual is, yeah, of course, if I look in the window to make sure the lady's okay, to see if the peeper looked at her. If the peeper looked at her, then she was violated. His eyeballs, technically speaking, his eyes violated her. So I want to look and see she's nude, and so she's been violated even though she may not have known that he was there. Now, the residual effect is I'm going to look and see her nude naturally. Oh, wow, Bats, you're saying I'm not allowed to get excited.
Oh, God, so in other words, you are standing there panting like an animal, like a 14-year-old...
Yeah, so, I mean...
Like a 14-year-old boy, and you're going...
Miss Gray, you got to understand something. You know, first of all, I don't... Well, forget it. Over to the theater. Elvis Newton. What's going on? Over to the good. Major Newton has just been attacked by the man that, we gotta get back. Come on.
You're running back to the truck, right?
No, I'm still here looking at the naked lady.
Will you come on, man?
All right, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Hey, what do you think they're doing, huh?
I hit this old man over the head. He hit me over the head. Take him into custody.
Why, you dirty... Ow! Put him back in the truck.
You know, you guys have kidnapped that man. You're looking at a woman's window. You think this is going to be on TV. It may be on TV if you guys ever get out of prison, which I seriously doubt is ever going to happen. Good. Now, where are you going now? Sounds like the...
Yeah, we got another one. Got another one. No, actually, we're leaving that guy in the... Okay, yeah, good. Did you kick him out?
I kicked the guy out. I threw him out, I think, the better part of valor.
All right, so Major Newton threw that guy out of the truck?
That's right.
You guys got... You know something of what I'm going to do, Santos? I'm going to call the cops on you after this show and let them know about everything I've heard.
That's your word against mine. It's going to be your word against mine.
Well, we have the address... Do we have the addresses, Bud?
Of what?
Of where these women were being peeped.
Not really.
Mr. Henry, you don't think I'm completely stupid, do you? I made up those street names and the addresses. We did have actual, real, live peeps. We peeped, and we know that the peeper did. But we didn't give you no real address. It's Jay Santos, and this is going to be, see, that's the hallmark of the new show that we're going to do. We're going to say, yeah, we're looking at peepers, but guess what? Maybe, no, we're not looking at peepers, and you don't know what the hell it is we're doing. So, I hope you know, why is that a helicopter, man? That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Sound like that to you?
You know something, Santos?
What?
I don't know why it is I put you on the air myself.
Maybe it's on account of you love me.
Yeah, that's it, Santos. We love you. Jesus.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers,
or the Citizens Auxiliary Police.
These are the stories.
The guys that couldn't capture those two escapees from upstate New York.
Excuse me. Hey, wait. Shut up. Oh, my God. Did I just hear what you said?
What is it with you, man?
Oh, did I just hear what you said?
Did you hear me say what?
Did you say the guys that couldn't capture the guys that was in the prison of upstate New York?
Yes.
All right, well, that's actually pretty accurate, so I guess I don't have really much to... Sorry.
Yeah, you better believe it's accurate.
All right, fine. Go ahead, stick it in and break it off, Phil. God. All I'm trying to do is save lives, you know, and you want to stick it in and break it off.
You know, Jay, I am so upset with this program today that I think I may blow another hole in a crown.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I knew you'd read something filthy into that. Would you turn this goddamn...
Militia, the Rangers,
this is the Citizens Auxiliary Police.
These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have been...
Goodbye. All right, anyway, welcome back, folks. The world-famous Phil Hendrie Show. Frank Gray is on the line here. Frank is the entertainment attorney, also the husband of Margaret Gray, and we'll talk with Frank. Frank's been in the entertainment business for a long time, and I trust what Frank has to say, Margaret, so you don't have to worry about that. Good evening, or good morning, or whatever the hell time of day is. How you doing, Frank?
Well, good evening to you, young man. You know what time?
Yeah, well, Phil's had a couple of drinks.
Oh, you've had a couple of pops, huh?
Yeah, I've had a couple of... Doesn't make any difference. Frank, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, young man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm better than Custer, you know.
Well, Frank, we're talking about the Steven Seagal story.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
Yes, I told him not to go there.
Well, Frank, you know, this is a story that's been making the rounds.
You know about this, Mr. Gray?
Well, I know a little something about Steven Seagal. Look, first of all, let me say something. I've got a reputation in this goddamn town, and if you people think on your little podcast that you're going to take Frank Gray and drag her through the mud, you better start dreaming of another tune to play on your little piccolo. Because I can assure you...
Frank Gray, by the way, folks, suffers from gender confusion, which is his inability to discern verbally gender. So he'll call a he a she and a she a he.
But I will not put up with any shenanigans. Now, she's a respected stuntman in the business,
Well, Frank, we know that, but the story that Phil heard tonight, he was at dinner at a restaurant and heard the story about Steven Seagal urinating the slacks. He urinated his slacks. You know that story?
Yes, I know the story. Now, let me ask you, Phil, where were you when you...
I was having dinner.
You were having dinner. Was that at a restaurant that was owned by a member of the entertainment business?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And so this big mouth, was it a he or a she?
It was a he.
All right. So she decided that she'd run her big fat yap about Steven Seagal. Now, let me explain something to you. Steven Seagal is a very respected member of the entertainment business. As such, I've had dealings with individuals who've had dealings with her. She is a martial artist of some renown. She's built. She's got big guns. She's got a big, flat abdomen. She's got powerful legs. And I can tell you that her wife loves her very much. And so in case you don't think she's married, of course she's married. She's married to a wonderful girl, and he's in love with her.
Okay, all right, Frank, that's great, but I didn't really want you to comment.
I called Frank up because I wanted him to comment.
Yeah, but Margaret, you're not the one running the show here. You're sticking Frank on the hot seat.
Wait, hold on for a minute, General. I don't mind being on the hot seat. If my wife wants to ask me questions about what Steven Seagal is all about, then by God, I'll try to assist him in any way that I can. Now, Steven Seagal, as you have indicated, Phil, is a man of great renown and great import, a man who has achieved a great deal in her career. And Seagal came to Hollywood and said, okay, I think what I'm going to do is be a stuntman. And she went out and kicked a little ass and took some names. Now what happens is one day Seagal runs up against this Jean LaBelle. Now she's got a karate, not a karate, but a Jew. Not a Jew.
Talk about jujitsu.
Yeah, there you go, right there. Like right there what Dickman said, a jiu-jitsu. And so the two of them go at it, and what happened was LaBelle choked her out, and she dropped and peed her pants. Now,
you're talking about Seagal peed his pants.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Steven Seagal peed her pants. She wet her undies, and have your laughs, have your giggles. I would dare say that if you choke...
What are you laughing at, Frank?
Well, I'm thinking about the fantasy that I've had of choking you out, Margaret.
Well, I did see this is just leading into something that I already know he was going to talk about.
Now, don't say it, goddammit.
No, I knew Frank. The fact is, I choked Frank out, and he weed his pants.
I didn't wee my pants. What a childish way of putting it. I didn't wee my pants.
Are you kidding? Margaret choked you out?
Yes. We had an argument one night. We'd come back from the party at Steven Spoonberg, or Spielberg, or whatever.
You talking about Steven Spielberg, the guy that made the Raiders of Private Ryan, or whatever the hell?
Yeah, that's the guy. She made that movie, Raiders of the Ark. So anyway, coming back from a party at her house, and Margaret says to me, gave me some lip, and I said, well, why don't you take that and stick it where you shove everything else? And he says, where's that? And I said, I think you know. And he said, okay, all bets are off. When we get home, it's on. And I said, it's your party. Well, we got home, and I squared up.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And now, Coast to Coast with Art Bell. West of the Rockies, dial 1-800-448-8963-4126-85. East of the Rockies, wait a minute, who's there? Is there someone? Is there someone?
All right, Ross Mitchell, thank you very much. And welcome to Coast here with me, Art Bell. And a very good morning to you, because this should be, let me just say, possibly a record-setting night here on Coast to Coast. Tonight, General Johnson Jameson from his bunker complex beneath the Saskatchewan crust will try to enter an alien craft that has landed in his backyard. I know many of you are saying it's not possible, but keep in mind, there are many things the government doesn't want you to know. But on this program, we'll tell you about them anyway. Spaceships that land in the backyard of a fully discredited CIA technician in Canada. Of course they don't want you to know about it. Why would they? It'll only make them look like fools. But tonight, General Johnson Jameson will be on with us to talk about that. Hello, General Jameson?
Oh, Art, I'm sorry. I was trying to get a stain off my pants.
We'll be with you in a moment, General Jameson, all right?
All right, Art.
But first, this from Keenman Enterprises. Friends, this is the time of year when family and friends gather together to celebrate the cheer of the season. And what do we celebrate the cheer of the season with? We celebrate it with eggnog. That's right, eggnog. Eggnog has been served for many, many years. And for many years, people are dying from it. That's right, it's chemically proven that eggnog can cause raging thyroid cancer. That eggnog, in its purest form, has killed countless thousands of rats in research laboratories across the country. Send away for our free booklet, Eggnog and You. Yes, it's a handy booklet to have with you at all times. When someone says to you, would you like eggnog? Just say no. I don't want any of your death serum. Eggnog, remember, it's... Eggnog, Santa spunk. And General Jameson, are you with us?
Eggnog is Santa spunk. Okay. All right. I can go with that.
General Jameson, what is going on right now?
Well, Art, something amazing has happened. I got up this morning, as I usually do. I got up rather late, actually, because the alarm didn't go off, and I had a meeting downtown, and...
downtown what?
Well, whatever downtown is around here. In any event, Igor didn't get me up, as usual. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. And there's a spaceship in our backyard here.
Now, the craft, you say, is made of what?
The craft is aluminium. I haven't done any real deep testing.
What is aluminium?
What is that? Have you ever heard of aluminum? Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So it's aluminum?
Yes, it's aluminum. In any event, I haven't done any deep testing, but I expect it weighs over 500 pounds.
Now, do you see any signs of life in it, General Jameson?
No, Art, not yet. Igor, hold on. Igor, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Anyway, I've prepared, I have all kinds of things here because you know I've been waiting for this to happen, Art.
Well, you've been telling me for years you were hoping for a spaceship to land in your backyard.
Yes, because I want to get on board, and I want to travel away from this madness and go learn of an alien life. I've prepared here, I've got just a little picnic basket. I also have, a backpack with some cheese, and I got a couple of sandwiches, and I want to board and I want to go to another planet. Now, I'm going to go out. What are you laughing at, Igor?
I ain't laughing at it, man.
I'm going to go out in the backyard now, Art.
Now, be very careful, General Jameson. You don't know who is inside the spacecraft.
I'm your friend. I am your friend. I am your... Ah, here's a door, Art. I'll just go through it. I am your... Wait a minute. You bastard.
What happened?
It's a movie set facade. I just walked through it.
It's wood?
It's made out of wood, yeah. Okay, Igor, that does it.
What are you going to do, man?
I have to torture Igor. I hope you don't mind.
Wait, I wouldn't want you to torture Igor.
No, he made a fool out of me, he made an ass out of me, and now he'll pay. Boy, this is fun.
General Jameson.
No, don't bug me, man. Don't bug me. It should have been done a long time ago.
This is Coast to Coast. I'm Art Bell. Thank you, and good night, everyone.
Yeah!
And now it's time for Coast to Coast with Art Bell. And the same story of a song. If you're calling from, or if you're just calling, here's the number, 1-800-ART.
And thank you very much, Ross Mitchell, and good morning, everyone, coast to coast. This is Coast to Coast AM. I'm Art Bell. And even though we have survived the Y2K millennium, even though we've survived the turn of the millennium so far unscathed, we certainly must remain vigilant to the possibilities that civilization could collapse in an orgy of urban rioting and violence. How to address the impracticalities of surviving the 21st century next, we'll have with us, of course, our return guest, General Johnson Jameson. But first, this from Penman Enterprises. Friends, if you're listening to this show, the chances are decent you'll wind up burning in hell. Well, you may go to hell, but you don't have to burn. Not with the new Penman Enterprises Devil Be Gone Asbestos Hell Suit. The fires of hell never felt so refreshing when you stroll through the furnace gates of the underworld in your Penman Enterprises Devil Be Gone Asbestos Hell Suit. Your friends in hell will say, wow, how is it Bob looks so cool and relaxed while we suffer the torments of the eternally damned? Now, it's the new Penman Enterprises Devil Be Gone Hell Suit. The next time someone says go to hell, you'll say gladly. In my Penman Enterprises Devil Be Gone Asbestos Hell Suit, you from Penman Enterprises. General Johnson Jameson is my guest, and we're talking about food storage and food consumption, General. Should we need to go into survival mode here in the 21st century? And I know, of course, it's still a very great possibility.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Art. We could, Y2K can still happen.
How do you figure that?
Well, this is what year now? 2001, and there may be if it clicks over to 2002, I hope it doesn't get to 2002. 2 is the zero, not a problem, but 2, that's...
So we could have urban rioting.
We could still have, the whole thing. So what I've decided is I've got to do better food storage. Now, the dehydrated vegetables that I have in the Lipton's cup of soup, and I've got some 700 cases of it, tastes terrible. It's inedible. It's absolutely without merit.
But it can, see, this is the argument that I have with you, General. It can help you survive.
Well, you wouldn't want to eat this stuff, Art. I went into my laboratory and I said to myself, how can we make this Lipton cup of soup edible so that we can survive the road warrior and the urban rioting and the fact that I can't get money out of an ATM machine even though the year 2000 has come and gone without incident.
And what exactly was the answer?
Well, I went into the laboratory and I hit upon the idea. I saw some water sitting in a pan, so I heated it up and it started to boil. And guess what I did?
What?
I put the boiling water into the Lipton's cup of soup.
All right, now let me be very clear. You took Lipton's cup of soup and you put boiling water into it.
And it is now absolutely edible. It's fantastic.
That is amazing.
And it really... Somebody told me the directions were on the side of the cup. But as you know, Art, I only believe what I read on the Internet. And
well, what we are going to do, and this is fantastic, you've just heard it. If you put boiling water into the Lipton's cup of soup, it tastes like what?
Well, someone told me it tastes like vegetable soup, but I don't...
It tastes like vegetable... That is amazing. What we're going to do, if you go to our website now, and I'm going to have Eddie Munster, go ahead, Eddie, and he'll post it on the website, the directions on how to put boiling water into Lipton's cup of soup.
And but keep this in mind. Don't let the government know. And you put it on the web.
Well, as you know, the government sees. The government's monitoring everything on the Internet, so now they're going to know that we know
how to put water
into Lipton's cup of soup. That's right.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Art. I've tried to let their national security director know this, but she will not return my phone calls. You see, this is, do you see?
Oh, it's absolutely clear to me that you have obviously hit upon something that the government is trying to hide from most of us. Why wouldn't they return your phone calls?
That's the question I ask. I called the Phil Hendry show. He wouldn't take my call. Why won't the national security director for Bush take my phone calls? Because I have vital information that you need to put boiling water into Lipton's cup of soup. And guess what?
What?
She didn't take the call.
How much more proof do we need, General?
I don't know, Art. I've been going all over the country. I'm speaking, and I'm not speaking in colleges, as you might think I would. I'm standing on a corner with a bullhorn
and a sandwich board over me that says the end is near. But it's still speaking.
Well, that's public speaking.
Yes, it is. It's the same. Some guys do it in colleges. I do it, near the Mission downtown.
Well, that's right. Well, I'm encouraging you on your public speaking tour to do more of that and let people know. And we will post again. Go to our website,
Artbell.
Yeah, that's right, .com. And we'll have the directions on how to put water in the lip. General Jameson, I can't thank you enough. Once again, of course, you have saved the day, and we appreciate it so much.
Well, if we can get the information out, that's all I want to do. The other thing is, of course, we now know that green lettuce tastes good with salad dressing on it.
And they didn't want us to know?
No, they did not want us to know that.
Thank you, General James. We'll have that on...
Yeah, put that on the website, too. Put dressing on salad and water into soup.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that just about wraps it up for our program. I'm Art Bell. This is Coast to Coast. And this is the what is it this week? I don't know.
And now, Coast to Coast AM presents Coast to Coast with Art Bell. First-time callers can call 555-5679. Our wild card line, 555-3467. For first-time calling wildlife, call 555-7823. If you're calling from my house, call 555-4690. If you're calling from a touch-tone rotary dial cell phone cordless, call 555-3210. If you'd like the charges reversed, or you're placing a trunk call person-to-person, or just call and collect, call 555-4976. It's let's just say for kicks you're calling, from a meat rendering plant in Canada, call 555-3338. Or if I'm just speculating now, if you're calling from a sewage treatment facility in the New Guinea outback, how about calling 555-5555? Do you ever wonder why they give out numbers that start with 555 on TV shows? It's because if they gave out the real numbers, some of you would actually call them to see who picked up. Some people are desperately in need of human contact. And speaking of that, here's Art Bell.
Thank you very much, Ross Mitchell. Thank you. And very pleasant good morning to all of you from across the ocean, around the world, globally, intercontinentally, and galactically. All of you listening in the Caribbean, and all of you, of course, in ships off the coast of Africa. All of you shipmates sodomizing cabin boys, good evening. Welcome to Coast. I'm Art Bell, and in a moment we are going to talk with General Johnson Jameson about a possible breakthrough in the Chandra Levy case. But first, have you ever wondered how enjoyable beachfront property in Arizona would be? What's that? You say there is no beachfront property in Arizona? Well, following the melting ice caps that flood coastal cities caused by global warming, prime beachfront property in Arizona can be yours. And if you call now, we'll also throw in the Brooklyn Bridge free of charge, as well as a parcel of swampland in Florida, a diamond ring for 10 cents, and some watches I have in the trunk of my car. Plus, if you act now, we'll toss in a Vegomatic, a Ron Popeil pasta maker, some dull Ginsu knives, a K-Tel collection, the best of Terry Jacks, an oldies collection, some Slim Whitman, the singer-songwriters collection, smooth sounds of the 70s, and the greatest big band hits of the 80s. Call now, 555-5555. Another phony 555 number from Beanman. And so General Johnson Jameson, I know, is in contact with us. He is in his bunker complex beneath the crust of Saskatchewan. And a very, very pleasant good morning to you, General Jameson. And General Jameson, let me just tell you right away what a great pleasure it is always to speak with you. You have been in the forefront of trying to uncover so many of these secrets and these mysteries.
Art, it seems obvious to me that we've got a real mystery with the Chandra Levy thing.
You are, and I think this is exciting because we do have some photographs on our website. You believe, scientific proof of what actually happened to Chandra Levy, do you not?
Well, Art, I do.
Tell me a little bit about what you think.
Well, I think the boogeyman has taken her. And
now, you say the boogeyman, and of course we have heard of the boogeyman.
Well, the boogeyman was prevalent for many years and sort of went laying low. But I think the boogeyman's back. I think he's back with a vengeance. And
now, you do have some photographs on our website of recent sightings of and that will be under our Bigfoot section. It's near the Loch Ness Monster section.
Yeah, there's the Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and the boogeyman section. All of those are together.
Go to boogeyman
// boogie.
And it'll be right there.
That is correct.
All right. This is exciting because if what you say is true, that Chandra Levy was taken by the boogeyman, and of course we've heard so often...
Well, the boogeyman sort of took a backseat to the abominable snowman and the Yeti and Bigfoot, and it never... I think it's a shame because I think the boogeyman is very viable in a lot of different disappearances.
Now, you have some photographs, because that's what the boogeyman basically specializes in.
The boogeyman takes kids, yeah. He steals children, and generally does it by hiding under a bed.
All right, now you have some photographs on our website of recent sightings.
Well, the first photograph shows the boogeyman hiding under a bed. If you go to boogeyman/boogie woogie, you'll see him under a bed.
Did you have an encounter?
Yes, I did.
This is fact. You had an encounter with the boogeyman.
I got into bed real fast last night so he couldn't reach out from under the bed and grab my legs.
All right. Now, I'd like to ask, what is NASA doing about this? What are the federal agencies doing about this, and how can we bring Chandra Levy back to her parents?
Well, I don't believe it's under the purview of NASA. I think it's more the Department of Housing and Urban Development, since the boogeyman is technically under your bed.
So that would be housing.
That would be housing. Now, I would just say that I do have some audio.
Now, this audio, and it's wonderful that we're getting so much mileage out of Chandra Levy's disappearance, what with the grieving family, fearing for her safety, and yet we're doing comedy bits.
Well, a lot of shows are doing that, and I just thought I'd jump in with this boogeyman concept.
All right. Now, you do have audio.
I do have audio, and this was captured last night. This was a close call. You'll hear the audio, and...
All right, I'll ask my engineer, Rolf Benershka, if he could just turn the music down. All right, go ahead and describe what we're going to hear.
This is a close call. I'm getting into my bed, and then you'll hear as the boogeyman tries to get my feet.
All right, this is a recording from last evening.
Oh, I sure am tired. I just set my alarm, my radio alarm to Rick D's. Say about 9:30. I don't have a job. Holy God, what is that? Yeah! Yeah, it's got me! Get it off me! Get it! No, it's off.
All right, so that was it?
That was it. He just let go. So if the audio can be heard on boogeyman.com/boogaloo shrimp.
Okay, that's on our website.
That is correct.
All right, that was unbelievable, that boogeyman...
that would be...
And the boogeyman, where do you think he took her?
I think he took Chandra Levy and put her under the bed.
All right.
Or in the trash chute in her apartment, or a dryer in the laundry. Boogeyman doesn't like the light, anywhere that it's dark.
All right, so that is our theory, that the boogeyman took her, and we'll be right back with more of this insanity, this stupid, really idiotic sophomoric bit, in just a moment.
Yeah, thanks a lot for making me a part of it.
You're welcome, General Jameson. Friends, have you ever needed a 555 phone number to give out and confuse people so that they won't call you? Starting today, any phone number with 555 is guaranteed to confuse anyone trying to call it. Now, Piemann Enterprises makes available to you a selection of 555 phone numbers never before available. You'll get 555-6784, 555-0990, or 555-1238. Perfect for avoiding your mother-in-law. Great for women to give out in bars. And if you're making a movie, insert a few in the script so the pains in the asses in the theater who call numbers they hear in movies will be completely confused. And if you act now, you'll also get a never-before-used 555 number, 555-555-55555. Get these great 555 numbers while supply lasts. New from Piemann Enterprises. All right, we're back with General Johnson Jameson, who believes the boogeyman abducted Chandra Levy and is holding her against her will under a bed. And you are also now going to look for the boogeyman in your apartment.
Yes, because he was here last night. So I'm going to look from under my bed. And I would have to ask the question, has the FBI looked under her bed? The answer is no, they haven't. They think they're so smart.
Well, the FBI, that is brilliant.
No, they haven't looked under her bed. Why don't they look under the bed? They won't do it.
Well, we are making that appeal now on the Art Bell Coast to Coast program. Will the FBI please look under Chandra Levy's bed? The boogeyman might have taken her and put her there.
All right. So I'm going to...
Now, right now, and I want you to be very careful, General Jameson. You are on your way to look for the boogeyman under your bed.
Yes, I've got a Walther PPKS 9mm that I have used, I haven't really used since my days with the U.S. military, just before my Section 8. And I'm now looking under the bed.
All right, he is going under the bed now. All we can do now is watch and wait and listen.
I'm going under the bed now.
Oh, my God!
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Yeah!
General Jameson, we've heard gunfire. We are still hearing gunfire. General Jameson, are you there? Did you kill the boogeyman? Are you all right? General, did you kill the boogeyman?
I'm fine, Art.
How, did you kill?
No, I didn't kill the boogeyman. My cat's dead.
Oh, I'm really...
And the old lady downstairs has holes in her ceiling. Well, it sucks. That really...
You killed the cat?
I killed my cat. Well, I might as well finish the job because she's still moving. So let me do it. All right, she's dead.
Okay. Well, we'll do this interview later on, I guess. By the way, the Boogeyman's press office has released a tape of an interview with him, if you'd like to hear it.
I'd be very fascinated.
Here it is, the comments of the Boogeyman as captured earlier today.
Yeah, I don't know where she is, man. I did not take her under her bed. I was taking another little kid under her bed at that time.
That's all we have.
That's it.
That's it.
That's rough.
Yeah.
This has been Coast to Coast with Art Bell.
The hell is this?
Well, I always play a nice oldie when I'm closing my show.
Yeah, usually they did. Oh, this is just scary.
Well, it's nice. I like Wayne Newton.
Thank you for
This has been Coast to Coast with Art Bell.
joy.
The Boogeyman got her.
Hello, my name is Melvin Atwater, and I'd like to talk to you gentlemen out there about something we all know about. It's called testicular drift, or, if you will, in the colloquial and the crude, ball drag. It's when your pants are a little too tight, and they force your testicles into one or the other pant leg. It's called ball drag or testicular shift because as you walk or sit or move about, they gradually move to one part of your pants or the other. Now, I've corrected that, and I've done it with this neat new pair of shorts called the Atwater Lift. As you can see, there are panels here. I'm sorry, this is radio, so you can't see anything, can you? All the better. There are panels on the front, panels on the back. You take out the siding, you put yourself into the pants, and then you have someone else lock them in place. Or you can do it yourself if you buy the handy Atwater Pant Lock. This is something you can take with you on vacation or take with you anywhere where there won't be another person to help you out with your pant. Melvin Atwater's Ball Drag. Melvin Atwater's Ball Drag Corrective Shorts. Available now at Witherton Drugstores and Camden's Menswear. You'll love it.
Art Griego's joined us. Art is a former commercial pilot. And Art, what about these two drunk pilots that got on the plane in Miami? It was a America West flight, and apparently they were both legally drunk.
Well, first of all, I don't want the public to overreact. It's not an unusual thing for a pilot, especially since 9/11, especially after all the attention that security has received after 9/11, to try to relax. You know very well that people get into their cars after having a beer or a glass of wine, and they drive around that way with their children and other people in the car with them. But the crucifixion of the American pilot and the crucifixion that's ongoing of the American security apparatus at our airports is indicative of what you were just talking about a few minutes ago on your program, Phil, and that is hysteria among passengers. And if you want to point to the single reason why we have got a security problem today, it's because of the passengers. It's got nothing to do with the...
Well, I mean, you can say, yeah, it's passengers that are bringing illegal things onto airplanes. You could also say it's terrorists.
But it's also passengers that are constantly harping on the crew of the aircraft about their food, about their breakfast. Why did they miss lunch? When are we arriving? Why are we late? Where are we right now? Eventually, you're going to see a stress level buildup among airline workers, and it is indicative, I think, of that these two guys, two pilots, as far as I know, very good pilots, wanted to have a couple of drinks and relax before they get on an aircraft.
Well, you don't accept that, do you?
I beg your pardon?
Do you accept pilots drinking before they fly?
Phil, let me tell you something. The pilots are getting crucified. It's only the pilots that people are leaning on.
Well, then why do you think that is? Because they're drinking.
I don't know why it is. I can't for the life of me figure it out, but the crucifixion of today's pilots is out of control. We didn't cause 9/11. Terrorists did. And what we have proposed constantly to the FAA, is that we have an acceptable blood alcohol limit for pilots the same way you have an acceptable blood alcohol limit for motorists, 0.08.
And so you want pilots to be able to have a pop before they get on the plane?
Well, I'm saying to you, Phil, is there not an acceptable blood alcohol limit for motorists?
Well, there's an acceptable blood alcohol limit for motorists because they're not publicly transporting hundreds of people.
They've got kids in their car. They have family members in their car. They have friends in their car. Sometimes they're carpooling.
Okay, well, what guy is having a couple of drinks in the morning before he carpools to work? I mean...
Well, come on, Phil. How naive are you?
All right. So I suppose a guy... Well, if the guy does, he's got a problem.
Look, pilots already do have a drink. I'm proposing that we make it legal.
Now, I want you to be clear with me. Are you telling me that pilots are regularly flying after having several cocktails?
Well, now you're going to hold my feet to the fire, is that?
Yeah, I want you to tell me right now, are you saying that commercial pilots are drinking before they get aboard an aircraft?
I will tell you what I did, okay?
You go ahead.
It was not uncommon for me, and I flew commercially for 25 years, it was not uncommon for me to enjoy a light drink before I went on a flight. And
how far of a flight are we talking about?
We're talking about just a hop. It could be a hop of San Francisco to L.A., Miami to New York.
And you'd have yourself a couple of belts.
Let me tell you something, Phil, and understand this and understand it clearly. You get on a plane, the first thing you can hear through the door of the cockpit is this kind of a low muttering. And when you open the cockpit door, it's everybody, all the passengers at the same time yelling, screaming, wanting this, wanting that, wanting to use the can, wanting to use it.
What has this got to do with you drinking? I mean, these are passengers who are demanding a certain level of service.
Well, wait a minute. What they have a right to demand is for me to get them from point A to point B. They don't have a right to scream and yell about their peanuts and their drinks and their food and their pillows and their blankets and whether their headrest goes back and whether it doesn't go back and can they get out of the emergency aisle and can they use the head and using that head when they got the... If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. You don't use the head when the drink cart is in service. You don't use the head when the meal cart is in service. And every time I say that, I'll open the door and look back. Sure enough, there's some guy trying to use the can. Even right after I said it, I'll open the door, and I said to Charlie Swadsworth, who is a co-pilot that flew with me, I said, look at this. I made the announcement, ladies and gentlemen, please stay seated, especially while the carts are in service so our flight attendants can give you good service. And then I said, watch this, Charlie. I opened the door. Sure enough, there's two jackasses trying to go use the aft can. Okay? I think the time has come for passengers to take responsibility for some of the terrorism that's happened. And I'm trying to say...
Are you telling me that all of that stuff led you to take a couple of drinks?
Yes. And it leads other pilots to take drinks, too. Because it is an absolute, utter irritation and aggravation to any pilot trying to fly a plane safely. And if a pilot needs to calm himself by having a couple of pops, then I say, so be it. Motorists have acceptable alcohol blood level. Why not pilots?
All right, we're talking with Art Griego, a former commercial pilot who... And you made a statement I'm not going to let you get away with. Passengers are responsible for terrorism.
Well, I'm not saying the passengers conduct...
No. You made the statement. I'm going to ask you about it. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Two pilots on America West apparently were taken off of their planes at Miami International Airport yesterday because they were drunk.
What do you mean by drunk, too? I'd like to have a definition there.
I mean, they were legally drunk.
All right, so they were staggering or what?
I don't know if they were staggering. I guess what they're saying is that they were...
Because when you say a man is drunk, what you're saying is the guy's got no control over his motor skills.
Well, the story says that they took the test, showed they were legally drunk.
All right, legally drunk is different from being staggering, fall down, I can't pass a field sobriety test drunk. You understand that?
All right, so the guys were legally drunk. Their blood alcohol limit, or their blood alcohol was above whatever the hell it was supposed to be. You're talking about a legal blood alcohol limit.
Yeah, I'm talking about legal blood alcohol. I'm saying give these guys the opportunity to have a couple of drinks. 9/11 has been more pressure on the nerves of pilots, and the only guys that are getting crucified are pilots, the security workers at the airport, and
well, let's talk about the security workers. How are they getting crucified?
Because everybody's blaming them. You got every passenger bringing every piece of luggage. They got carry-on bags. They've got steamer trunks. They've got huge suitcases. They've got every kind of garbage. Some of them got pet cages. They got cat cages. Some of them are bringing on bags of things that they bought, souvenirs, toys, etc., etc., etc. If you got these people to stop bringing so much crap on the plane and start leaving some of it at home or in their hotel room, we wouldn't have the security problems we're having. All right?
And well, you saw that it said 25% or something of these guns or fake guns got by. And
well, yeah, they're going to get by as long as you got some guy and his wife from South Bend, Indiana, bringing nothing but crap from their vacation on the plane. Now, what we're asking, and we're asking, I think, respectfully, is that passengers cease being the pigs that they can be and start being the responsible passengers that...
Boy, you are endearing yourself, man, to the people that...
No, I'm asking that they do what they should do and endear themselves to me, the pilot. I'm the guy that's flying the plane.
No, and I'm saying right now, you're calling your passengers pigs, and they're bringing crap on board. Is that right?
You want to see some of the crap. Some guy was down in Tahiti and bought himself a back scratcher. He had a drink called a back scratcher. It's a wooden back scratcher that he got out of a drink, a cocktail. Now, this is the garbage that they're bringing with them.
And, well, again, I'm saying this. You have a public relations problem here, pal. You got pilots that are drunk. You got security people that are not checking the bags properly. And
no, wait, you're saying that I got to make the passengers happy.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I'm telling you, look, the airline industry almost went under after 9/11. And why? Because passengers bringing crap on the plane. They're bringing a back scratcher. They're bringing extra jock straps. I don't know what they're doing. Tennis rackets, golf clubs. The only people that need to be kept happy in the airline industry, Phil, are pilots. I'm a pilot. I don't need to keep them happy.
And why should we keep you guys happy, okay? The passengers pay.
Well, you want to know why you should keep me happy?
The passengers are the ones that pay. They're the ones that come on board.
You want to know why you should keep me happy?
Yes.
Because if you don't keep me happy, guess what happens to the airplane? It doesn't fly anymore. It doesn't fly.
Are you saying you'll crash it?
No, I'm not saying I'll crash. I'm saying, in other words, that the pilot is the individual who stands between you and everlasting perdition. The pilot is the one that stands between you and St. Peter at the gates. Then I would keep me happy. And if I had to look down the aisle and see 20 to 30% of the passengers in sombreros, or wearing some kind of flowered lei, or wearing one of those those chink, not chink, but I mean the Chinese hats that they wear, like they were running around in a rickshaw in Hong Kong, or I gotta look down the aisle and I see them wearing Letterman's jackets, or bandanas, or scarves, one of those fruit hats that they get down there in South America. I swear to God, I would rather fly it into the side of a mountain than land it and have to see it again as I'm standing there. Because you have to understand something. So we have to stand there at the door and say, thank you, one sombrero and one fruit hat after the next. Thank you, yeah, thanks a lot. Jesus.
And all of this, you're telling me, Art, and I've known you for a few years, all of this, you're telling me, causes you and other pilots to want to take a drink.
Yes, and what I'm saying is, after 9/11, we got more pressure on us than ever before. We are asking that individuals give us the same freedom that motorists have, acceptable blood alcohol level.
0.08.
0.08. I would also ask passengers, if you don't want the security people at the airport to miss things as they check for guns and bombs and knives and brass knuckles and atomic bombs, then don't bring all of that crap that you pick up on your vacation and that you bring from home. And I'll tell you something else, too, if I can just say this. And I say this, Phil, with all due respect. Do you have any idea at all of what a baby smells like after a 6-hour flight? In other words,
all right. right. Well, they're trying to change the diapers. You got changing rooms there in the can, and
Yeah, well, okay, thank you. We got them. Use them, is all I ask.
all right. Art Griego, he's a professional a retired commercial pilot who says that the drunk pilots and the lack of security is ultimately the responsibility of the passengers who distract, bring too much luggage, and otherwise make it a very nerve-wracking flight for the pilot, for the security people, and for the flight attendants. And if you want the pilots to be a little bit better at the job that they do, give them an acceptable blood alcohol rate. If you want the security workers to do a better job, then don't bring so much, as he put it, crap with you when you travel. Now, you made a comment that you should be allowed to have a drink before you fly. Is that right? And you're a retired pilot.
Phil, everybody needs certain things to function in their job. Mechanics need tools, technicians need computers, actors need a stage. Pilots need a drink, and I don't know how else to put it.
Pilots need a drink.
Yes, and I can tell you something. At 45,000 feet, when you got a flight attendant coming in and saying, Jesus, they won't sit down, they won't do this, they won't do that, and it's at that point. I'm at 45,000 feet. I've just hit autopilot. You tell me, a dry martini with onions and a salad bar, a little dirty, you telling me that's bad?
If I'm flying a commercial jet, if I've got I don't know how many people back there?
You're telling me that a dry martini is bad with a salad bar and dirty.
And I don't know what you mean by a salad bar.
A salad bar is with onions and with an olive, and dirty is with olive juice. What are you telling me that's bad, huh?
No, it sounds pretty refreshing, but if I'm flying a commercial jet...
Why are we being crucified? Pilots and security personnel are being nailed to a cross. We have had a crown of thorns shoved down on our heads, and we have been given vinegar to drink. Vinegar. And I say it's got to stop.
All right, 1-8, and the passengers have caused the terrorism.
They haven't caused it. It's just that all the crap they bring on the plane, it makes it difficult.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to look for the bombs. Here is Winifred.
Company that he flew for stops his pension if they recognize his voice.
Winifred, hold on, dear. You're just on the air. Say that again.
I hope the company that he formerly flew for withholds his pension, because any pilot that flies
I gotta be
under
honest.
the influence of alcohol is an absolute disgrace to the aviation industry.
Everybody who drives a car is allowed to have a couple of drinks. And
not everybody drinks.
But some people do, and a pilot needs to numb a little bit before he walks to the cabin and listens to, with all due respect, Winifred.
I don't know what type of airline you were flying for, but I've never been on a flight, where people were behaving that badly.
Oh, okay.
Then your flight attendants are obviously not doing their job.
Were you flying the plane?
No, I'm not flying the plane.
Then you don't know the effect it has on me. When I
well, then you obviously have psychological problems.
Wait. You're telling me you've never seen somebody try to use the can while they had the drink cart or the food cart in the aisle?
Well, perhaps if he's not
okay, now the truth comes out.
Have you ever had a problem with your bladder?
Maybe the truth comes out now, Winifred. And when I tell them to sit down, and then they purposefully disobey me and get up to use the toilet.
Oh, so we've got to obey you all the time.
Yes, I happen to. Have you heard of federal?
So we pay your salary, we pay for our ticket, and we've not to move because the pilot says you can't go to the toilet.
No, that's true. When I put on the fasten seatbelt, Winifred, that means you are to return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt. You know that. You've flown enough.
Yes, I know that.
All right. So if you don't do that, Winifred, then guess what? You're in trouble with me. And that's a federal violation. Now, I realize you're older.
That's fine, but obviously it's a federal violation also if you're driving under, flying under the influence.
Federal law mandates you obey me. I don't have to obey you.
But only if you're sober.
And also, Winifred, you being older, you know that you may be a little bit incontinent. Try draining that bladder before you go. Yeah, try draining the bladder before you get on the plane.
No, it's nothing to do with incontinence, because people can pick up viruses.
I bet you're one of those passengers that just has to bring that ukulele back from Hawaii, aren't you? And because of you, people die.
Goods. Having traveled the world, I have no need for all of the junk from China.
All the junk from China?
Exactly.
Oh, what a racist.
All right, listen, thank you very much. Sue, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Hi, yes. Hi, I'm a pharmacist, And I deal with the public all the time as well. And believe me, I have some doozy customers, but I certainly would not deal with my pressure on the job by popping a few pills while I'm at work, dipping in the candy jar, nor going to work impaired by alcohol.
Well, see, the difference between your job and mine is that if you mess up on the job, you don't kill 300 people.
We could kill 1 or 2 people. What's
it's not the same. Not the same thing.
Well, what's
if
the
I
difference
mess up on the
if
job,
I kill...
I need to have calm. I need to have it calm, cool, and smoothed out. I need everybody to shut up and sit down. That's all I'm asking.
And I'd like some of my I'd like to say to some of my customers when I'm at work, shut up and sit down. When I have a line of 5 people,
right,
and I've got somebody butting the line saying, "Can you ring up my pantyhose?" But I can't.
If you are distracted by people in line at your job, 300 people aren't burned alive. If I'm distracted on my job, 300 people go into a cornfield.
So you're.
And I think there's a little bit of a difference there, Sue.
But you're trying to tell me that it's okay if I kill 1 person because I'm distracted on my job versus you killing 300. 1 life is equivalent to me as 300 lives.
Well, that's fine. But I think that 300 lives is more important than whoever you kill with your, you gave them too much Benadryl or whatever it is.
Oh, I don't think so. There's a lot more deaths with pharmacists being interrupted
half of the stuff that you guys push into a bottle is aspirin anyway. I mean, do we even know that
Well, let's not impugn what this woman does for a living.
Well, I don't know what she's talking about me.
Well, but see, you're missing my point, though.
Yeah, you've heard the name Kevorkian.
Well, exactly, and I'm not...
Some of those people are asking for it.
See, that's outrageous.
Man.
That's really outrageous. I hope your pharmacist is not listening on the phone
No,
now.
man, what I'm saying is...
What do you mean some of those people are asking for it?
Mr. Andrew, you find it funny, and this lady may find it funny, but I'll bet you Jack Kevorkian got into the business that he got into because he was so sick and tired of listening to them, he couldn't stand it any longer.
Well, that's Jack Kevorkian, but I'm talking about this issue. Pharmacy is very stressful. If you've ever stood in line at a pharmacy and you've heard the phone ring...
And you've never slipped a couple of something into a bottle because you couldn't take it any longer.
No, you go into the back room and you take a deep breath and you count to 10. You don't sit there and have a couple cocktails in the bathroom.
You could hurt somebody, though, couldn't you, by slipping something into the bottle that shouldn't be there, and they take one, and guess what? They're done.
Why would I do that?
First of all, she'd go to jail, okay?
Well,
exactly.
How are they going to put you in jail?
Because they'll trace the medicine back to the bottle.
And do you know? And it would be medical negligence.
Oh, well, let me
involuntary manslaughter. You would be if you bring your plane down. You're dead. You're not. You're not going to jail. You're going to be dead.
I'm not going to do that on purpose. But you would. I don't have time to count to 10, Sue. I'm flying a jet. I'm going to tell you one thing. You're welcome on my flight anytime. I wish you'd hand out some wrong prescriptions to some of the passengers I fly around.
I'm telling you.
Some of them are begging for it. They are asking for it.
And you don't think my customers are begging for it? It's crazy.
Well, what are you guys talking about? Killing people because they won't sit down in their seats or they...
that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to kill anyone. And the thing is why would I want to jeopardize my career by filling prescriptions while I'm impaired?
And you would jeopardize your career, Art, which, by the way, you're retired. Do I dare ask?
Don't even go there, okay?
All right, but how are you retired?
Yes, I am. And I flew for 30 years, and I drank before a few of those flights, and I never got popped. And a lot of guys do.
Well, you never got popped because nobody ever checked on you.
And that other thing about airport security, so here comes that last busy broad that last lady that I was talking to, and she's packing through the ukuleles, the macadamia nuts, she's bringing in all kinds of crap she found on the beach, and it is distracting a security guard from the nuclear bomb that some guy with a towel on his head is bringing in just behind her. So that's what I'm talking about.
The nuclear bomb.
That's right.
All right, listen,
and by the way, Sue, what's the going rate for roofies? But anyway...
Yeah, that's real funny, man. That's real great. Impugn everybody else's profession because you happen to be having a hard time these days there in the airline industry.
Bill, it is a tough industry to compete in these days, and I'm telling people, if you want to get from point A to point B, and you want to do it in the air, and not by way of ambulance or a body parts van, then I would suggest that you allow me to have a beer or two before I fly.
Well, I won't be flying with you anytime soon, man.
So you're not going to have lunch with me in Santa Barbara next week? You said you would.
Well, okay. Art Griego. Jennifer, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Which is not what I said.
Yes, that is what you said, sir.
To have a conversation with you, actually, because I don't want to get in a power struggle with this.
Well, we need to have a three-way.
pilot.
We need to have a three-way conversation here. So, if whatever you direct to me, you need to direct to the guest.
Well,
Okay,
I don't know why she doesn't want to talk to me. I'm the guest.
I know you're the guest.
Okay, what's the guest's name?
You want to talk to me, ma'am? Okay, you can ask me what my name is. Don't talk about me like I'm not here, okay?
First of all, I'm a school teacher, and I have to say that you're commenting about the airline profession being
It bothers me.
stressful,
My
and
wife
I
used to talk about me like I wasn't there.
All right, I know about your wife, and I know you have a broken marriage. Go ahead.
Well.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you. I would have to say that there's a great number of jobs that include a heavy amount of stress, with teaching being one of them.
Come on. Are you guys trying to compare teaching and being a pharmacist and somebody emptying the quarters out of the merry-go-round? That's the same. That's the same as me being a pilot.
Oh.
You know how the guys with the box cutters got on board because the idiot ahead of him was coming back from Grand Cayman, bringing home a statue of a rain god in a grass skirt, and the next thing you know, we got ourselves a problem.
What do you mean, the guy ahead of him?
Those guys with the box cutters got on those planes because there's some guy ahead of him that security's got to check, who's got a lei, and he's got a walking stick, and he has a robe that he got from Epcot. That's what I'm talking about. No wonder the guy misses all the nuclear weapons, whatever the hell these ragheads are bringing on there. And forgive my language because my wife is Arabian, but I just, her in-laws, I have Palestinian in-laws, and they drive me out of my mind. That's why I'm nervous more than anything else.
I understand that. We can dispense with the raghead thing. Here is Robin on the Phil Hendry Show. Robin, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I can't believe that you're even talking like this. I mean, everybody, no matter what kind of job they do, has stress in their life, but that doesn't...
once again, I'll say to you what I've said to 58 different callers. It's not the same as flying an airplane.
You know, whether you fly an airplane or
what do you do?
Any kind of... Hey, I work for a prosecutor's office.
Oh, yeah,
and you know what?
stress.
I'm glad I do, because we prosecute people like you, and thank God that there's people... No, you talk, you let me finish.
I don't doubt you've killed a lot of people on your job.
Oh, that's real nice.
Well...
Huh? Well...
Go ahead, Robin. Go ahead.
Okay, well, all I have to say is everybody has stress in their job, in their life. It doesn't matter what. Everybody has stress. Everybody has problems.
Yeah,
I can have a stress...
What stress does a gardener have? I'm just curious. What stress does the guy who empties the quarters out of the merry-go-round have?
He's got bills to pay. That's his job. He's got bills. Maybe he doesn't make enough money.
What if he's single?
But all I'm saying, it doesn't matter if you're single. Everybody has bills. Everybody has commitments. Everybody has a life.
It's not necessarily stress.
That doesn't give you the right to have a couple beers and endanger people's lives any more than it gives me a right to go and get drunk on my way home from work, get behind the wheel of my car, and take somebody else's life into my own hands.
Well, the point is, as I mentioned to Mr. Henry, that it's legal to drive under .08, but it's not legal for a pilot to fly under .08. It's not fair.
My car is a little smaller than your airplane.
You know, and I'll tell you something, Robin. If I mess up, what stress does a meter maid have?
I don't know.
Okay, a meter maid that lives with her parents. What stress does she have?
Do you know what they say about men who buy big cars? I think maybe you're in your profession because you drive a big airplane and you have small equipment. Maybe that is your stress. Maybe that is your problem.
What did they say, Robin? Where did they say that? I've never heard that.
I'm just saying. You know,
what?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, what, Robin? What
are you saying?
I think you sound like an insecure person with sexual problems or something, and
didn't take long with you, Robin, to get sex in the conversation, did it?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think you have a lot of
your regular profession. You know, when I'm flying an aircraft and I turn around and I'm going to look back there and I'm going to see there's Robin with her girlfriend coming back from Grand Cayman, and you're wearing one of those straw cane cutter. Oh, look, she hung up on me. God. I'd just as soon take that thing and fly it right into the fat part of Cuba.
Jesus. Art Griego, ladies and gentlemen, 1-800-449-8686, the number here, and that was a retired pilot talking, which I certainly don't think that he represents at all. And what?
You talk about your stress. How would you handle a plane load of 300 pigs with tiki lights and canned nuts?
You know what, Art? I'm glad you're retired. I echo the sentiments of everybody. I'm glad you're retired. Tiki lights and canned nuts.